So if you look in the bottom left, there's this button here that says multiplayer mode. If you click that, it opens up a menu and you can click solo mode.
Hot tip for anybody playing on the screen top mod at any point. You can do this too at home. Wow, that is great. I haven't used this yet, actually. That's great.
Yeah,
that's nice.
This in here, this is in screen top terms, it's like a picture counter. This just has the base solo scenarios. I haven't put like the agriculture campaign in here yet. You could do one of these if you want.
Yeah, lovely. And Tim, could you switch the stream view to like if I stream on Discord, you could stream my stream on Discord. That way they'll see my perspective.
Oh, sure, I could do that. I'm just streaming the entire screen, so it's actually very simple to do that. I'll just make that the full screen. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, looking good.
Looks good to me.
Okay, so we're in the solo mode setup here. I'll take the actions to set up the game, which is just draw one creature, fill up the soil with 6 creatures, and lay out 3 behaviors. So something nice about Loam is that you have your input cards. You just start the game holding those. You have your deck of behaviors, and you have your deck of creatures. That's it. That's all that's going on here. So setup takes about 2 seconds. Oh, whoops. I drew a dead creature card there. That has, oops, actually several of these have front and back. Oh, never mind. That was weird. That was a weird screen top error. Oh, you know what it is? I'm not at the right seat. I need to be at seat 1 to play solo mode. There we go. I was confused because I couldn't see the creature card in my hand, but
yeah,
there
that
it
was
is.
A strange glitch.
Alrighty, so let's take a look at the behaviors. I start every game by looking at what behaviors we got available to us. See, 2 of them have plant mutualists in them, and thankfully I have a level 1 plant mutualist in my hand, so that's looking pretty. And I want to combo that with an ecosystem engineer. That's orange, and a small predator, large predator, which is red. So I can get into that. I also have creatures to score Terrific Cascade here, which is a microbial decomposer, the purple color, and a small predator, the pink color. I think I'll actually go for that one first, because then I have a little bit more freedom in my later placements. So placement 1 will be the microbial decomposer. Placement 2 will be small predator. And that is off of Rich Exudates, which I'm using the top action there, just to place 2. Spent input will go down there. I'll get my soil stats. I get 2 food web from the small predator, and 1 nutrient and 1 structure from the microbial decomposer. And I get the sweet behavior, Terrific Cascade. So I'll throw that into hand. Okay. Next up, I think I'm going to go with Attractive Volatiles because I have a creature that I want to place from the soil right now. I want to place this large predator for certain because I can put a level 1 plant mutualist on top of it and get this behavior up here. And doing Attractive Volatiles, the second half will also let me grow the soil by 3. See some fun new creatures and see if I can combo off. So I'll do that placement, take the large predator, and I can put this in a community because it has 2 level 1 creatures below him. That gives me 2 food web and 1 structure. And then I get to grow the soil by 3, which is just, again, taking creatures off the top of the deck, putting them into the soil where I can see them. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. I was hoping to see a orange creature there, an ecosystem engineer, but I did not pick one. No harm though, because I have one placement left off of antibiosis. I'm actually going to do the cute little antibiosis hack here, which is place one creature. I'm going to place a creature from my hand, plant mutualist, which will give me some soil stats again, and also score me this behavior by putting a plant mutualist next to a large predator, yellow and red, right here. But then the second half of the top action in antibiosis is shed one. Shedding is when you discard from your hand to the soil. And having cards in your hand is always a little bit better than having them in the soil because they never go away. You can always count on that card being there. In this case, though, I have nothing to discard, so that little bit of hurt does not affect me. I have two behaviors remaining, but I'm not really set up to use either of them, to be honest. So I'm actually going to end my turn there, draw one card. I would fill the soil back up to 6, but there's already 6 creatures in there, so that soil will stay right where it is. And then I'm going to refresh the behaviors, drawing back up to 3. So that soil conditioning still hangs out, but 2 new behaviors are added to the mix. And that brings me to turn 2 with my set of inputs back in my hand. So looking at where I'm at now, I have another large predator in my hand, which is featured on 2 of the behaviors here. Messy consumption is a large predator plus a small predator, or a large predator plus an animal decomposer. And oh boy, I certainly see some animal decomposers in here. That's looking pretty good. But in terms of getting the most out of what I can off of this table, I don't see anything that's really keying into microbial decomposers right now. I also have 2 animal decomposers on the table. So I'm going to antibiosis this. Antibiosis is the card that lets you discard some stuff from the soil and draw some new ones from the deck. So I'm going to bury 3. That's the bottom half of antibiosis here. Bury 3 from the soil, grow the soil by 3. So I'm going to bury this level 3 microbial decomposer. I'm going to bury one of these level 2 animal decomposers. And I'm going to bury this level 1 animal decomposer because my community... Oh, actually, I shouldn't do that. I'm going to bury this level 2 animal decomposer. Retain some flexibility. Then I'll throw 3 new creatures into the soil and draw 1. For my draw 1, I'm going to draw from the deck. You can always draw from either the soil or the deck. All right, with that known, time to get some placements off. I think I will start with, throwing down a new community, because I'm a junkie, with rich exudates. So I'll use the top part of rich exudates to place 2 creatures, and those 2 creatures are going to be a small predator. Nope, that's not right. Actually, no, that's fine. I'm going to take a microbial decomposer, and then take a small predator. Yeah. That doesn't score me a behavior here, but I'm setting myself up to score one in just a second. But that's the end of Rich Exudates. Totally resolved that. And then I'm going to move on to Attractive Volatiles. I'm going to use the top half of Attractive Volatiles for a fun little reason here. I'm going to draw 1. And the one that I draw is actually going to be something that I could use for Tropic Cascade. So Tropic Cascade is a pretty interesting behavior that is kind of a combo. It says, place either a large predator or a small predator. Then you may bury either an ecosystem engineer or an animal decomposer from your hand And if you do that, you're able to place a second creature off this behavior, either a microbial decomposer or a plant mutualist. But if you look at my hand, I do not have a creature of the appropriate type, either an animal decomposer or an ecosystem engineer, to discard. But I'm going to do that by drawing one. So the top of my attractive volatiles, if we draw one, I'll draw it from the soil to my hand, and then I'll place one. The one that I want to place is actually in my hand, and that'll be this large predator. So I'm repeating my past mistakes from last game here. My food web is running way ahead of my other stats, which will upgrade my antibiosis. But unfortunately, I've already played that this turn, so that's kind of a bummer.
This time it'll work.
But I do score that behavior, messy consumption, which was scored by having a large predator and a small predator next to one another. Achieve that in this new community right here. And next I want to score necrophagy here, which I need to place this animal decomposer on top of that. So I'm all out of inputs. It's going to have to come from one of these behaviors. And I'm going to use the Tropic Cascade, which I just set up. Oh no, I did that in the wrong order. Oof, I did it in the wrong order. I don't have the right thing to place anymore. Okay, that's fine. Instead, I'll use the messy consumption, see if I can bail myself out of that small mistake, which will grow the soil by 2, and then let me place one creature. And I'll use that placement to get the animal decomposer where I want it, get 2 structure from that fellow, and score this necrophagy. So I'm still perfectly happy with that result. And now I still have a lot of behaviors to play with. This is kind of an interesting point in Loam where I'm running out of cards to play from the soil and my hand, but I'm still loaded with behaviors. And sometimes it can be difficult to have the right conditions to play those behaviors. So if I can, I want to try and play one more of these so I'm not stuck with a bunch of behaviors at the end of the game that I can't use. I think I have about one more placement, room for one more behavior to go off in this turn. So I'm going to use necrophagy, which I just picked up. And to activate this, I need to bury a level 3 or level 2 from my hand. I have a level 3 animal decomposer right here, this wonderful American giant millipede. So I'll ditch them, bury them, and that gives me 2 placements. 2 placements, very flexible, very powerful. I'm not going to be able to pick up soil conditioning here. That's out of the question. But I'm going to throw down this plant mutualist. Setting myself up for a community here. I have a level 1 and a level 2 plant mutualist. I'll be looking for a level 3 for that fellow. Sorry, were you talking to me, Max?
Yeah, you need another level 1.
Oh, I do need a level 1. You are correct. Illegal placement.
Sound the alarm.
Maybe I'll do that down there then. My first placement from necrophagy will be a plant mutualist that I will drop down there from my hand. That's a level 1. So roll that back. One thing that's really nice about Loam is undoing your moves if you have to, because if you ever need to figure out where your soil health points are, you just have to count up the different icons that you're showing.
Yep.
So I just did some weirdness with my food web. I'm just going to quickly count the icons to make sure I'm in the right place. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, sanity check, 10 food web. So anyway, my first placement was that plant mutualist there, the level 1. And for this community, I'm actually going to place the microbial decomposer as the second placement there, which nice and friendly, gives me 1 in all of my soil stats. And like I said, I think I'm kind of running out of stuff that I want to play from this soil, so I'll end my turn. I draw a card, I draw a creature into my hand from the deck, replace the available behaviors, and fill the soil back up to 6. And oh geez, we're already on the last turn. I get my inputs back into my hand. And what I'm thinking at the start of this turn is that out of my 3 soil health tracks, I have 1 past the 8 point, which means that that input that corresponds to that track is upgraded. I got Antibiosis Plus here. And my goal this game is to put all upgraded inputs. So I'm going to try and use a combination of this upgraded input and the available behaviors that I have to get these other soil stats up to at least 8 before I use the inputs that correspond with those tracks. So I'm probably going to use Antibiosis Plus first, and how I use it is going to depend on what available behaviors I have here. So I see I finally found an ecosystem engineer. That's super helpful for me because I have a place right to put it. I want to keep that. And then I have another level 2 plant mutualist to throw on top of it. That's super helpful given this soil. And then I actually am not finding any level 3s. And I have 2 communities that are kind of ripe for throwing level 3s down, which is a little bit of a bummer. I think I will play for this anyway. By dumping some of these level 1s that are not super helpful to me. So this microbial decomposer level 1, this plant mutualist level 1, and this small predator level 1. None of them are super helpful to me because I have level 1s of all of those types in both of my communities. They're super low value. They will not score points for me if I play them. So it's pretty safe to use Antibiosis bottom, bury 3 from the soil, and grow by 4. And the 3 that I'm going to bury are those 3 that I just said are useless for me. And the nice part about the upgraded version is I got rid of 3 and I get to grow the soil by 4. So I'm seeing a lot more than was there. Also, because it's upgraded, I get a placement off of here, which I am going to take one of those ecosystem engineers and slap it on top of my plant mutualist, which gets my structure up. Love that. Closer to 8, so I upgrade that input. And I also have a plant mutualist next to that ecosystem engineer. So I finally score soil conditioning, which is the behavior that's been sitting in this lineup since the beginning of the game. I have not managed to score it. And that's really great because that's going to help me combo off in this turn because it helps grow the soil. That's the end of my action with Antibiosis. So what I'm thinking now is that I would really like to find a level 2, either some level 2 that gets me soil stats and could go in this community. I have some decent options, but I'm going to use a behavior to do it because my other 2 inputs are not upgraded yet. Woof. A little bit nasty, to be honest. I'm actually going to have to use soil conditioning for this purpose, even though it's not going to grow the soil any, but it will allow me to place 1 creature, which is exactly what I need right now. And that 1 creature is going to be a level 2 microbial decomposer. It'll give me 1 in every stat. And boy, that feels good because I needed just 1 stat to flip both my attractive volatiles and my rich exudates to their upgraded side. So now my full potential for this turn is kind of unlocked. And it's time to pop off. So it would be really great if I could find a level 3 plant mutualist to stack here, or a level 3 microbial decomposer would also be pretty good. So I'm going to try and see some new creatures, and attractive volatiles lets me do that well. I'm going to place 2 and then grow the soil by 4. And out of these placements, actually, I'm thinking what I might want to do is draw here so I can get these behaviors off in an interesting way. Ugh, I'm feeling the crunch come in. I don't have enough cards to do everything I want in this turn. It's going to be tight. Tell you what, I'm going to draw 1 ecosystem engineer using the top part of attractive volatiles. So draw 2, then place 2. going to draw that ecosystem engineer. I'm going to throw Hail Mary and draw one from the top of the creature deck, which is another ecosystem engineer. Okay. And then I have 2 placements. I think one of my placements is just going to be cashing out a level 3 in this community here. Oh, now that's a rough level 3 to cash out. It's very bad for my soil stats because this level 3 gives me 3 food web, and my food web is high, way too high. So one thing about Loam is, you see I have 2 communities that have 6 creatures in them, meaning the 7th is the opportunity for that level 3. But based on the board state here, I do not think it makes sense to play a level 3 at all. I might just play a level 1 down in some of these cases instead, because the available level 3 is going to totally ruin my soil balance. 2 placements. Okay, you know what? When you don't know what to do, it's always safe to start a new community, because that's exactly what I'm going to go for.
That's the key.
And I'm going to do it with 2 level 1 creatures that actually help the stats that I need. Super nice. Got an animal decomposer for nutrients and an ecosystem engineer for structure. So both these shoot up to 2, and I'm looking a lot better on my balance already. That's attractive volatiles all resolved. And I'm in a position where I want to see as many creatures as possible, and I don't know if I have the way to do it. So I'm going to play another Hail Mary and do Exudates Plus. Draw 1 creature. Not what I wanted, a small predator there. And then I have 3 placements to do. So I'm still looking for structure and nutrients. But actually, a lot of stuff here is food web. Oh my gosh, almost all the creatures here are food web
So
driven.
brutal.
I might be in trouble at this point. So I will actually put this ecosystem engineer here as one of my 3 placements, because that's very nice for the scoring. I'm going to have all creature types represented in this community now. It's a W. I'll take it. And it also gets my structure up to where I want it to be. Next placement that I'm looking to do is I want to try and play this plant mutualist, because that's one of the least bad things I could place at this point. So I'll throw them down there. Gives me 2 structure and 1 nutrients. And, oh no, absolutely devastating. I guess the last thing I play is... Ugh. Now it's all nightmarish.
You hate to see it.
I'll just play this level 1 small predator. And I totally destroy my balance. So at this point, exactly what I feared happened, which is that I have some behaviors stuck in hand, and no real creatures that I want to play, nothing I want to use them on. Kind of a rough conclusion to this game.
Tragic.
I'll score it up.
It was like there's a brief moment where like you were about to soar, and then you just saw it just fucking collapse. No.
You know, if I was already to retrospect on that turn, it was probably greedy of me to make those plays to upgrade my my inputs. Again, I was thinking like, gotta get those upgraded inputs, gotta get the value.
Sometimes it pays off.
But,
it's like it's such a tempting treat, and when it pays off, it feels so good. And like when you played that level 2 microbial decomposer and you got 1 of everything, I was like, this is Loam, baby. It all hit at once.
Yeah, that felt pretty good,
beautiful.
right?
And then you got a little greedy.
I certainly did. I certainly did. But in any case, we'll score it up. The difference between my soil stats here is 11 and 16, so that's a big fat 0. 5 apart. Ouch. I'll look at my communities. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique types in this community, and 1 type with 2 levels represented, so that would be a 6-point community. For this one actually looks pretty healthy. I have all 6 types represented. If you check a nice scoring reference, gets me 2 bonus points on top of the 1 point for every type represented. So that's 8. And then I have 1 type with 2 levels present, a level 1 microbial decomposer and a level 2 microbial decomposer. So that's actually a 9-point community.
Nice.
Not too bad. And down here, I just have 4 unique creatures. So that's a 4-point community, bringing me to 9 plus 6 plus 4. My brain has short-circuited, but that's 14, 18. Woof.
It's 19.
Oh, thank you. There's something about
check the rule book. So
and thinking that makes my brain not connect properly.
Check back to the left there. We'll see what your soil actually was.
Oh, you know what? I totally ignored the rules of the campaign in this. In this
fine.
one.
This is the base game. We're not doing anything special. There are special scenarios you can do, but this time this was just like the vanilla rules, all basic. We'll do another. Maybe we'll talk about it on Jamie's stream. But there are also alternative modes you can do, extra stuff you can sort of spice up the solo experience.
That's right. I want to stream some of those at a different date too.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It looks like my score here is marginal. Just because I'm a trans woman, I don't like to be marginalized in this way. I'm going to file a complaint with the designers.
Your soil is marginalized. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, what can I say but yikes?
I do like that it insults you a little bit, the rule book. It's like degraded soil. You jerk.
Fantastic. I had another great time though. This was a fun game to play.
Loam is always very fun to play solo. I'm like not particularly good at it, even solo, but I still enjoy playing it.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting designing the solo mode for this. It'd been through a lot of iterations where there was where we tried to make it so like there was an AI or something that was like also building the soil. But what we kind of realized is just like the thing that's fun about playing Loam solo is just playing Loam.
Yep.
Making the creature combos.
Yeah, it was a case of finding the fun there, where you didn't like lower bookkeeping, lower sort of brain fog, I guess, was the way to go. And yeah, like you said, Loam it's a game about figuring out these puzzles as they generate themselves, and that's what's fun about it.
And when you're playing solo, you have like that 0 downtime, right? So it's like kind of the constant trance state, like of people who describe a flow activity. Playing Loam is kind of like a flow activity to me. I'm not thinking about anything else in my tiny little head except how to get that soil balanced, how to get those communities scored, and that's just one beat after another, for like 20 or so minutes, which is perfect.
Yeah, you went from start to finish there in like less than 20 minutes, and like a lot of stuff happened. It's great.
Yeah, and that was with like narration and commentary.
Yeah, I don't normally talk to myself.
Oh, I do. When I play Loam, I narrate all my moves. It's the only way I remember to play it correctly.
Oh, it's just gonna whack that in there.
Yeah. Exactly. You got to do it.
Well, all right. Do you want to call it a night with that?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for leading us through that one.